This is episode 18 of the Audacity to Lead podcast. What you need to do before you leave your job to pursue your passion.
Looking to make the leap from potential to productive performance? Thinking of starting up with business, career, ministry, or your life tasks? Join Dayo Samuel on the Audacity to Lead podcast as he shares tips, steps, and strategies to help you chart a compelling course for your life.
Hello and welcome to this episode of the Audacity to Lead podcast. This is the podcast dedicated to helping you make the leap from potential to productive performance. My goal is to help you get focused, get started, and be impactful. On this episode, we are going to be discussing what you need to do before you leave your job to pursue your passion. Tara Ene, my friend, is not here with me today, but I'm not going to be doing this podcast alone, as I have asked 5 experts who I love and I respect to give their best advice for someone who's considering leaving his or her job to pursue his or her passion. You are listening to me now because you are possibly considering that, and I know what you are going to pick from this podcast, this particular episode, is going to be phenomenal. I've asked Emeka Nobis, Coach Sam Obafemi, Tomisin Ajiboye, Adeolu Ujoba, and Maya Wajishafe, and the answers they gave, one thing I noticed is that a common thread in the answers that they gave is you can have a job and pursue your passion. Well, that is not conclusive in itself. You will, on this episode, have answers to questions like, why do you want to leave? If you really need to leave, what will you be known for? What are you going to be doing? Can you or can't you start your passion as a side gig? What contingency plans do you have in place? What sustenance plans do you have in place? What do you need before you start? And what do you need to continue to run after you have started? For me, as a person, I remember back in 2010 when I first started Young and Strong, and in 2012, I got unpaid employment as a media personnel with a non-profit organization in Makurdi. I began to work for 1 year, and a year later I requested permission for me to run Young and Strong, which I've been running since 2010, and I was granted. Well, today I've left that job and I'm now fully focused on what I do now. But looking back, I learned some lessons which I think is reiterated by the different persons you are going to be listening to. One guy recently shared with me his frustration about having to run a teenage-based organization alongside his bank job, and he was telling me how tiring it was sometimes. Well, sometimes it could be like that for people, and sometimes for those who are considering leaving their job to pursue their passion. When you look at it from the side of your job, you somehow become depressed and hopeless. But when you look at it from the side of your passion, you become hopeful and excited and enthused to pursue it. The thing is, you need much more than passion, and that is what you are going to be picking from this episode today. First, I'm going to have Coach Sam Obafemi, who is an anger management and therapist, who is also the head at Barnabas House Group. He's a coach and is someone I love and respect, and he has got this to say.
Hello, Dayo. Okay, thank you for asking me to send you this request. For people who are transiting from paid employment into self-employment, there are several measures. The first thing is, what do you want to sell, or what do you want to be known for in self-employment? Because at that point you'll be paying your bills, and you need to know what you're selling so that you're specific in the marketplace. As a paid employee, you're an employee, and your payments, your salaries will come at the end of the month, whether you're working or not. That's the perception. But as a self-employed person, you have to be on your toes. So you need to be specific what you want to sell. To be able to venture out, you need to plan your exit, because, like I said, you're going into an uncertain terrain. So you need to be sure that you're convinced and you're ready to give it all it takes, give it all the shot required. It is important to make good rapport with your current employer and current colleagues, because they are likely to be your first clients or your first source of referral. So you need to start building your marketing strategy right from employment. It's very important. You need to pick lessons. What are the things about your current employment that are your strengths, so that you can take advantage of them and hype and develop yourself further. Pretty much that's how to start out. It's very important to know that. And then I guess you're good to go.
Okay, thank you so much for that answer. Okay, next is Emeka Nobis, a best life strategist and head at Profound Impacts. This is what he has to say.
I must say that leaving your job to pursue the passion that you have is really a rewarding venture. But to leave your job to pursue full-time is another path that you have to consider before you fully jump in. I'll advise that you build your stuff by your side by side your job at the same time. I'll also advise that you find someone who's already living that, who's already pursuing a passion as a full business venture and go on those wings to learn. I'll advise that you study as much as possible the pitfalls, the future outcomes, the opportunities that are available to you before you fully jump out of your job and pursue your passion fully. That's what I can advise. Thank you.
Thank you, Emeka Nobis. And now let's have Tomisin Ajiboye give us his best advice on what you need to do before you leave your job to pursue your passion.
Hi, my name is Tomisin Ajiboye. My life is a story of one grain of sand, a life of seeking and finding and further exploration. I often wondered what makes one person seek challenge and difficulty and another stability and comfort. I see that sometimes while we often believe we can achieve everything because we are not doing badly at what we are doing presently. Many clients have approached me several times with new dreams about a business idea that they would love to do. Whenever I ask them the reason why they want to leave their present good job, despite its money flowing in, good numbers, they always say that they are tired of being a staff. Would that be a good reason to jump into entrepreneurship? That will be another topic for another day. My answer to the question that Dayo asked me is this, and this is the answer I will keep giving everyone that has asked me if they could go into entrepreneurship, and it's still going to be the same today. I just asked them to come back in another 3 months if they are so passionate about becoming an entrepreneur, as they have claimed. Of course, the percentage of those who came back hasn't changed to date either. Just 1% out of 100. Just being good at your job doesn't necessarily mean you can run your own business. The reality of running your own business is that you will hold overall responsibility for everything, from IT to finance and marketing, even to how to deal with daily post, bags, business administration, and all sorts. To scare you, the job to do is so enormous that you may quit along the way if you lack the required passion at first. Check all I have mentioned so far. Did you find money as being part of the things you need? But more importantly, you require some skills that will stick by you in the midst of all the challenges of becoming what you have chosen. I will set your foot to become one of the best in the industry that you have chosen. In my experience thus far, I will share some of the necessary skills that will make or mark you, depending on how you master or neglect them. The first one is creativity. You have to be very creative with what you do. The second one is skill audit. A good place to start would be to look at what you can and can't do. Through carrying out a skills audit, asking yourself many questions such as, what can you definitely do by yourself? What can you learn to do either for free or for a minimum cost? What do you need professional help with? All these questions will help you to audit your own skills. The third one is sales and marketing. You will need the skills and experience to identify your target market and its receptiveness to your offering. You need to understand what makes them buy and how to acquire new customers. A good marketer will know the methods of building a brand and then keeping it in a target market conscious. You need a marketing plan. Now, the fourth one is finance. You can do a lot yourself, but professional help will have to be used for some aspect of finance. I am talking from experience. Then you need budgeting and forecasting, you need bookkeeping, you need managing debts and credit. The last one that I'm going to talk about is people management. If you have employees, you will need to know how to recruit, retain, and motivate them while complying with all the necessary human resources and safety legislations that come hand in hand with people management. Other areas you will have to tackle include payrolls and pensions. Let me just give you a JARA. I call it JARA because it's just a final one. It is all legal issues. The reason why I call it JARA is you get a professional to sort the house. You just need a lawyer, you need a legal advisor or a legal assistant. So legal issues, getting professional, you need legal help. It's almost unavoidable at some point in running a business. But if you do your own research, you can use them economically. For example, there are a number of available tips online that will cut out the cost of hiring a lawyer to write an employment contract and can leave you with cash in your pocket to tackle the more technical issues such as copyright and patents. So with all this, I think you can keep your head in the game. But I will ask you again, are you really ready? Are you sure you're ready for entrepreneurship?
Okay, Tomisin Ajiboye just asked you, are you sure you're ready? Well, Tomisin Ajiboye is the senior consultant at Idea Factory, and you can see he shared some tips even beyond the question of what to do before you leave, even answered to the point of starting up and running. Now I'm going to ask Adeolu Joba, who is an HR personnel with Career Solutions Africa, and this is what he has to say.
Yes, before you consider leaving your job, or before you decide to quit your job, there are a few factors you need to consider. Firstly, in this part of the world where you want to do something and you don't have a concrete plan in place. And now, because a job is involved, because a means of livelihood is involved, it is something that should not be done in a haste. I think it is something that needs to be properly planned for. And transitioning is something that you need to plan for. And so you could maximize it. Firstly, why do you want to leave your job? There are some questions you really need to answer yourself and be very, very sincere with yourself. Why do you want to leave your job? Do you want to leave your job because you don't want to say yes to someone? Or what exactly is the reason why you want to leave your job? One. Then, for the passion or whatever it is you want to go and pursue, is it something you could do part-time still on your job? Is it something you could start while still on your job? Or why must you leave your job full-time before you could start that thing? Considering the fact that most passions don't usually pay very well, especially at the beginning. It usually takes time. So it might not be a bad idea if you're still on the job and you start whatever it is that you want to go into. There are a lot of factors involved, there are a lot of things involved. There are different strokes for different folks. And what applies to Mr. A might not apply to Mr. B. But a SWOT analysis, a careful analysis of the situation needs to be carried out before deciding to leave your job. If you leave in a without planning for it, then I'm scared you might come back.
Thank you, Ade, for sharing that. And now you are going to hear the final guest. Well, Mayowa Ajisafe is the last person. He is an author, he is a solopreneur, and he has a very thrilling, very exciting story to share. He is an embodiment of someone who actually left his job to pursue his passion, and specifically, he left his job to pursue something he wasn't even aware of. Today, he has become somebody different than actually, but I think you need to hear this story yourself. You need to hear his story. Now, Mayowa, can you please take it away?
Hi everyone, I'm Mayowa, and Dayo asked me to give my own take on what advice I could give to anybody who want to leave their job and follow their passion. I think I have a lot of stuff to tell everyone about this specific topic, because I myself have a long story of sacking my boss and quitting my job to follow my own passion, and though it's never been an easy thing, but at the end I think I'm very, very happy I did that. But one thing I want to tell everyone listening to this is this: I did a very stupid thing some 2 years ago when I left my paid job, and I have nothing left to I have nothing to fall back. I have no plan. I just knew I want to start my own business and I want to follow my passion of being a writer, a blogger, and all those stuff. So I did a very stupid thing then, like I said, of quitting my job without even having any backup. And I dearly paid for it by being broke for almost a year and a half before I even found my traction with my online business and the likes. So my best advice to anyone listening to this, starting your own business and even following your passion, to me, is the best thing that can ever happen to anyone, because life is just too short to even stay in a job that you don't love or even doing what you don't love to do. As in, the best thing for you to do is doing what you love and doing what comes to you naturally and what you're happy about. Like what I'm doing right now, I am very happy about it. I'm living the life that I really wanted to live. I have my freedom. I can work anytime I wanted, and I can decide to sleep anytime I feel like. So unlike when I was working, that my boss owns me, my time, my everything, even including weekend, and I only have Sunday to myself, which then I only have to rest, and I don't even have the time to go to church because I only have Sunday to rest from all those hustle and bustling of Monday to Saturday. So it's a very good thing following your passion and pursuing your dreams and starting your own business. But if you are still with a job and you are dreaming of doing that, one thing I would advise you is to start your business or even start following your passion on the side while you still have your day job. Because the truth is that it's a very hard stance and a very hard position to be when you don't have any money and you have to pay the bills. And life can be very, very frustrating, like it was for me some years ago before I finally got my track right. But not everyone will be very risk adverse like me, and not everybody will even be able to withstand all the pressures I've got to withstand from family, friends who love me and who thinks I'm very crazy by not even looking for another job, by even sticking to what I want to do. So my best advice will be stick with your day job, start a side business, or maybe start your own passion. Maybe your passion is writing, blogging, and starting a business or whatever. Start that passion on the side while you still have your job, and your job can still provide you a cover in terms of monetary gains. At least you have your job to pay your bills, and with that, you just make sure you spend some time to figure out how to work your own business, how to make it grow. And as time goes on, as your business or passion begins to yield results, so with that, it will come to a stage that you can easily say, okay, yes, I now have this business or passion that can really fuel my lifestyle, that can really pay my bills. It is then I will advise you to leave your job. I won't want anyone to do what I did then, though it finally became a very good story for me, but it was never an easy thing. Being broke is not the best of position you want to be, and you can easily avoid that by still keeping your day job and starting your business by the side, or starting your own passion and doing whatever you love by the side. You can easily run the two together. I have some good blogger friends that are very known and their blogs are doing fine, and they still have a day job. So it's just a matter of priorities, though you have to shuttle in between your job and your passion or your business. So it's not a very easy thing, but with time and even with planning and even trying to get off some things that doesn't really fit into your time, that doesn't want your time. For example, I don't have a full-time job. All I'm doing is my passion full-time. I really don't watch TV. TV is not my thing. I rarely watch movies. I only watch movies sometimes, maybe in the weekend, because I always like to take the weekend off any work. So TV, gossiping, all those activities that doesn't even add to your time, you can easily gather that together and even start your side business while you still keep your day job. So with that, and maybe if the need be, you might even need to be waking up earlier, maybe to write your blog, or to even promote your blog, or to even do whatever needs to be done, probably online, because that's really what I want to talk about. I wrote a blog post on my experience on how to pursue your dream when you have no money. For those who are without a job now, and or maybe you have quit your job and you want to start your passion and you want to start your business full time, I've written a post about how to pursue your passion and dreams when you have no money. That's the story of how I overcame my story of being broke after leaving my job before my business got any traction and I started making money. How I coped with the monetary aspect of the thing, how I feed my pocket with at least with some change while I'm still growing my business on the side. So I will ask Dio to include the link to this blog, to the show note of this podcast, that it will feature this recording in. So I will enjoin everyone to read the post. It will offer a lot of insights, especially for people who want to go into freelancing, coaching and consulting, because that's exactly what I did then that saved my ass from being broke and all the like. So thank you very much for listening to me, and I wish you the best in pursuing your passion. It's the best you can ever do, because life to me is so short. We all have some little years to live. Even if you spend 70 years on earth, at least that's the average years that many people are spending today, even according to biblical injunction. So even 70 years is a little bit too short to even work your ass off with a job you don't love. I used to hate my job, and that is why I have to sack my boss then and carry my cross and start my own business. But that is not a part I would advise for anyone. Keep your day job and start your business or follow your passion by the side. And at the end of the day, you can have a very good story to tell at the end of the day. So thank you very much for listening.
And thank you very much for sharing Maiwa. Well, this is where I'm going to end this episode of this podcast. You have heard, and as of now, I know you definitely know what to do next. If you have questions or you need some clarity, you need some clarifications, you can tweet at a different guest and they will surely answer you. There are Twitter handles for Coach Sam Obafemi. You can send him a tweet at S.Obafemi, that is SOBAFEMI on Twitter. He will answer you. For Emekanobis, who was the second person to answer, you can send him an answer. You can ask him a question on Twitter at I am Emekanobis, that is IAMEMEKANOBIS. You actually find all of them at audacitytolead.com/18, where this episode is found. For Tomisin Ajiboye, you can send him a tweet at Tomisin Ajiboye. For Adeolo Ojoba, you can send him a tweet at Adeolo Ojoba. Also for Mayo Ajishafe, you can send him a tweet at Mayo Ajishafe, and they will take it up from there and they will definitely answer you. Well, this is the last episode for the year, which is my special announcement. This is the last episode for the year, and myself and Tara, we are going to be resuming another episode January 2015. Thank you so much for listening. Like someone will say, this is your life, go make it count. Remember, get focused, get started, and be impactful.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Audacity to Lead podcast. We believe you've been inspired and greatly challenged to step out and lead with more influence and impact. For more resources, visit audacitytolead.com.